I would like to introduce a hypothesis dilemma, the trade-off between present-day commercialized agriculture management and a newly discovered, more equitable commercialized agricultural management operation called aquaponics. According to www.ucsusa.org, today the majority of American farmland is dominated by industrial agriculture. The system of chemically intensive food production developed in the decades after World War II, featuring enormous single crop farms and animal production facilities. Back then, industrial agriculture was hailed as a technological triumph that would enable a skyrocketing world population to feed itself. Today, a growing chorus of agriculture experts include farms as well as scientists and policymakers. I don't agree that policymakers have anything to do with this, except for they make the policy, but they don't earn any credit. Sees agriculture and industrial agriculture as a dead end, mistaken application to living systems of approaches better suited for making fighters and refrigerators. The impact of industrial agriculture on the environment, public health, and rural communities make it an unsustainable way to grow our food over the long term, and better science-based methods are available. Then, according to www.organicconsumers.org, the industrial agriculture systems consumes fossil fuel, water, and topsoil at unsustainable rates, including air and water pollution, soil depletion, diminishing biodiversity, and fish die-offs. The pesticides used heavily in industrial agriculture are associated with elevated cancer risk for workers and consumers, and our monocultures are eroding biodiversity among both plants and animals. Synthetic chemical pesticides and fertilizers are polluting soil, water, and air, harming both the environment and human health. Soil is eroding much faster than it can be replenished, taking with it the land's fertility and nutrients that nourish both plants and those who eat them. Water is consumed at unsustainable rates in many agricultural areas, coming under greater scrutiny for their links to endocrine disruption and reproductive dysfunction. Intensive monocultures that stretch over thousands of acres, leading to more chemical use and exuberating attendant problems, pesticide resistance in insects, and pollution of surface waters and aquifers by herbicides and insecticides. Both population growth and urbanization body ill for the environment and the social order that it upholds. To meet their need for food and other goods, the additional people will make further demands upon finite resources such as arable land, fertile soil, and fresh water. Imagine for a moment, Mr. Farmer is not educated on the engineering behind aquaponics. He was taught that if you plant the seed that came from the fruit, that came from the tree, that came from the ground, one gets more fruit. Mr. Farmer plants seed after seed and grows enough fruit to feed the whole town. He made profit. The town grew bigger from his wonderful fruit. He bought more land and planted more fruit with his profit. Again, he feeds the whole town, and the town grew, and the farmer makes profit. The causal loop continued until the land was stripped and it became harder and harder to grow food for the growing town. Then one day, someone educated the farmer how to compost and grow lots of food using aquaponics. Then the farmer taught the town how to use the same engineering to sustain themselves and went into business fabricating deep water culture aquaponics systems that took up small free space around the same area as free energy out of recyclable plastic parts, performing circular economy, environmental friendly systems, and made profit in sales and in natural resources from adding to the compost to overused farmland, creating a resiliency effect, creating new flourishing ecosystems of beautiful landscaping and escaping garden intertwined with smaller aquaponic system gardens that produce the same amount of food as the growing town desired, yet in a smaller space, giving the beauty of nature and its natural resources back to the town as well. So my distinction is to gain natural ecosystem, or the other, to lose natural ecosystem. The idea came from a personal experience involving food shopping and the realization that one cause of pollution is the overconsumption of mass produce in a vast variety. Vegetables cost too much for the amount that a human should consume to stay healthy without having to overexert one's self to stay in shape. Naturally, if one were to create more portions of fruits and vegetables, wheat and whole grain ratio to that of meat on the plate, and just ate smaller portions of meat more regular, they would naturally have the energy they would need to perform the tasks they are overexerting themselves with exercise to perform. They would naturally use the energy they are creating by eating healthy, and a minimal yet frequent workout would be all they would need. Yet the separation between the rich and the poor continues unfairly. The more the poor class gain, even more the rich gain, and prices go up. The poor stay weaker, and the rich keep them that way. With feeding ourselves better, we can create more fair and equal playing ground for everyone. Equity will be created by giving everyone the chance to become equal. I have no proof that any of this is factual, but you can refer to my references for their information. So after my distinction is my system. The best system would be one that grows food for the whole population. It creates profit and capital in sync with surrounding ecosystems, healthy and edible food, no GMOs, no harmful pesticides, and everyone eats. Well, there's three perspectives here. Okay, so the three different system whole parts, the three perspectives or options and their parts are, number one would be growing vegetables to sustain but without aquaponics. Less GMOs, natural insect repellents, individual space used for farming, healthier food, no profit, and everyone eats. Oh, hold on. No profit, and not everyone eats. I apologize. Because not everyone can afford your own personal space. What, 2 or 3 acres there? The second option, perspective, grow vegetables for profit. GMOs, pesticides, overconsumption of surrounding ecosystems, everyone eats, and there's profit, but the food is not as healthy. And then you get what? Look, fat little Americans. And their children are dying. It's disappearing. Or we can go with this third solution, which is aquaponics. Deep water culture, environmental friendly ecosystem, which basically consists of the deep water culture, fish, the plants, fish poop, fish food, water filter, pump, and systems. This is circle economy system, which is fish live in water, plants feed from the water in deep water culture, fish poop acts as plant food, plants grow produce, we eat produce, new ecosystems take over leftover space not being used by aquaponics. That would have been used for natural commercialized farming. Additional ecosystems, fish habitat. You have natural pesticides, no GMOs, adaptable to any space given. Better food producing system altogether, if you ask me. You get healthier food, profit, everyone eats, natural resources are left to be replenished. Hoorah! This is a pretty blue slide because I couldn't incorporate a YouTube video which would have shown you someone's homemade aquaponic system. Here is an image of basically a mass production of using deep water culture aquaponics, and you see how it's not a very big space, but it produces a lot. And the idea is that you can condense the size that we already use to a smaller space, and because these smaller spaces can produce more quicker. So like once they grow, right, we chop them down, they grow back quicker, so we're still able to keep up the demand.
Hello everybody. Good morning. This is Smell Effects Take Change Part 1. Today I am going to show you my small operation in my apartment where I grow my own stuff. This is something that individuals can do to start teaching themselves how to use this type of engineering. And I believe personally that it can be very useful. Now I'm going to show you a deep water culture system. I don't have an aquaponic water system with fish in it. I actually add nutrients. But I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, and as part of my video. Okay? So here's my small tank. You see up there's an incubator. Just bought it. Check it out. Has some seeds I want to sprout. Sorry. So, as you can see, what I've got going on here, I've got an avocado down there, apple tree, some tomatoes, and this damn selfie stick. Alright. So, what I'm trying to show you is, okay. So this thing right here, these buckets are filled with water. Okay? See that pump right there? That pump pumps air through an air stone. Okay? Creating, let's see if you can see it. But, you see the water's moving there. Okay, I don't know if you can see. Let's see if you can see the root culture. I have to see. Anyhow, here I'll pick up a plant so you can understand what's going on with their root culture going on. Okay, so if you can see that there. Fuck me, man. Right, sorry for cursing. There you go. I don't know. There you go. I think you're able to see that. Okay, so those roots there. Oh, those stems are getting nice and strong too. Like, yeah. Alright, see, so I got if you can see this. That right there is spinach. It's growing wildly. That's spinach. Sweet pepper. Mango, potato. See all that right there? Alright. I hope you can see all that. I'm going to check out the video in a minute. But, so basically, inside these buckets, if I were to have fish floating around in them and feeding them fish food, this would be considered an aquaponic system. Okay? Basically, all aquaponics means, well, there's deep water culture, and then there's aquaponics. Aquaponics is different because it uses fish. And then with deep water culture, you're going to buy nutrient solutions. And I can, here, I'll show you that, actually. So, this is a 2-bedroom apartment, small, but I'm able to see there, hopefully you see, I'll check it in a minute. Yeah, I'm growing all sorts of vegetables. Okay, so first what you're going to want, you also want this. So you got pH up and pH down. This helps you control your pH in your water. Okay. Alright, so here's, that's one solution I use. You got the B, the A and D. They have different nutrients in them, and there's a way to use them. And then my buddy hooked up some samples of Elite. This stuff is rocking and rolling. Good stuff. Okay. So anyhow, there's how you can make a small change. Also, what I do in my home, you know what I'm saying, is I compost. In the bottom there, the blue bucket bin is a worm farm, and then I put here, in this white one, food, and that one over there gets ashes and coffee grounds. There you go. Alright, well, that's my little bit of 2 cents on how I try to give back. And how I try to eat healthier and save money by being self-motivated. Thank you.
Here you go. Here's a diagram of what a home, aquaponic system would look like. You've got pumps that are going to filter this water. Obviously, the fish are creating oxygen, and you feed them, and they poop, and they create nutrients. But you're going to have a filtration system, keeping that water fresh for your plants, because you don't want any crazy funguses to grow that would harm your plants. But anyhow, here's a diagram showing kind of how everything would work. Like I said, I had a video to show you guys where a guy actually went through step by step, but YouTube I couldn't get to upload. So there's here you go again. Here's a on the facing the screen here. It's going to be my right. Is a home system, very fancy, very pretty, and then you see here's a complete nursery. So it's possible.